In this video, I'm going to show you one of the fastest ways I use tactical arbitrage to find real, viable products for my Amazon FBA business. Not theory, actual leads. If you're new here, I'm Chris, a full-time 7-figure Amazon seller. My business is 100% online arbitrage, and I basically spend all day in tactical arbitrage. Today, I'm going to walk you through my exact workflow so you can plug this into your own account and stop wasting time scrolling through garbage leads. Tactical arbitrage is a sourcing tool. It compares prices from online stores, places like Walmart, Target, Vitacost, and about 500 other websites against Amazon. You can tell it what site and categories to scan. It scrapes the prices, stock levels, and compares them to Amazon. Then it spits out potential flips for you to analyze. The problem is that most beginners turn it on, hit search, get a wall of unprofitable junk, and decide TA just doesn't work. It does work, but you need to stack discounts, gift card, tax rules, and smart filters the right way. It's not complicated. I'll show you. That is exactly what you'll see today: how I pick sites and sales, how I set up my product searches, and how I go through the results without wasting hours. All right, let's hop onto my screen and I'll show you exactly how I set up these tactical arbitrage scans. I have partnered with Seller365 to do a quick walkthrough on how to start an easy search. And this is part of my new to tactical arbitrage series, where I show you several ways to get started and how not to be overwhelmed by the insane abilities that tactical arbitrage has. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Something easy, something simple, something beginner friendly. We are now on the home page of tactical arbitrage. If yours does not look like mine, it's probably because you're either in TA2 or in the old the UI. If you can see it right here on the bottom, there's a toggle underneath my image. If you toggle that off, it will take you to the original TA. Or if you toggle it on, we're going to be under new user interface. This is the one that I'm going to show you today. So let's get into a search. Yesterday, I received an email from Vitacost that they're having a 20% sale on food and beverages. So let's see how I would run this normally. So there's a few ways to do it. First of all, you're going to go on the left to product search, and you're going to click product search, and it should open this exact window right here. I'm actually going to clear my filters right now, and then I'll walk you through how I set them up. So the cache, I'm actually going to send this started yesterday, so I'm just going to go on one day. I just want to make sure it's pulling the most accurate, relevant pricing and stock information. So I'm going to go to one day, which is basically since yesterday. And then we need to, if you ensure the top of your page looks like mine, I'll go through an explanation of on these toggles and all the levers in here at a later date. But right now, this is what I would do, especially this right here. So we're going to go to website. Website, there's a few ways to do these searches. So let's show you the first way. And this is what everyone new to using tactical arbitrage, this is what they would do. So I'm going to go to Vitacost. You start typing the website and Vitacost will show up. Click on it, and it will, on the very right, it will populate all the categories that are available for the Vitacost website. So we can see that that email was saying, and I actually have it right here, the actual website, 20% off food and beverages. So how do we scan this, and how do we do the 20%? So let's start with the easiest way. So the easiest way is type the website, and then on the right, you have all these categories. So the first thing I would do is I would go to food and beverages and check that category right there. So as you can see, the food and beverages category has 618 subcategories. That's what that is right there in the parentheses. So if you check that, you're going to click add to bulk, and then you will see that the bulk categories added are 618 out of 70. So it's that right there. So just the food and beverages category, right? So with that, the next thing we can do, there's a lot of colorful stuff here. We don't need to worry about any of this at this moment. The one thing that you can do is name a search. So maybe you want to name this Vitacost 20% One thing that could be helpful is, let's see, if we click on the sale, one thing that could be helpful is to see when it ends. So see, it says promo code is Food Save 20 expires 11/21, which is in about 3 days. So I'm just going to Control C to copy that, and I'm going to come right here, and I'm actually going to say, I'm going to paste the code and the expiration. So then let's say you run the search and you don't have time to look at it immediately, and maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, you see it in your search history and you go, ooh, I never looked at this. Is it still good? And you can see that it expires 11/21. So technically everything inside should still be good as far as pricing and discounts applied and all that significant information. So this is what we do right here. Or you don't have to name it. I never name my searches, rarely. So the next thing, a lot of people brand new to tactical arbitrage would just be tempted to click search at this point, right? But we have all these filters that are basically allowing us to say, I want to see this and I don't want to see that. And let's go through them. So the first filter is going to be source price adjustments. You just click on the line and it opens it up. So the first price adjustment is this big thing that's staring us right in the face, 20% off, right? So we're going to go right here and we're going to do store discount. We're going to put a 20%. So this is taking 20% right off the advertised price. So there's your actual item price, $3.59, and then TA is going to apply the 20% to that price. And that's what you're going to see in the results. Then there are some other things here that cashback. There's some talk about applying cashback to or counting cashback against costs. I would strongly urge you not to do that. Cashback is not a guarantee. It's a gift that may show up at some point in the next 6 months. I would not count cashback as part of costs. I would count if you have a gift card, yes, it's you can count that as part of the cost. So for example, if you have a $100 gift card that you only paid $92 for, right? That is an 8% discount off the $100 gift card, right? So here you would put that 8% gift card discount. I don't know if there's any discounts or gift cards for VitaCost or if there are any right now. And so I'm just going to take that out. The other thing that we need to discuss here is the state sales tax. If you pay sales tax, number one, if there's sales tax in your state. Number two is if that category is like food and beverages. A lot of foods are sales tax exempt in many states. So if that applies to you and your state or county, or just keep that in mind, the categories and then the stores that you're sourcing also. For example, maybe you don't pay sales tax at Walmart, but you pay sales tax everywhere else. This is on a case-by-case basis. So now that we're done with the price adjustments, we're going to minimize that and we'll go to the next one, to remove. And this is where a lot of people end up filtering themselves out of product. So the remove filters are basically, they're these levers that we work with to adjust the results, right? The removal is, I really don't want to see anything that could look like this, right? So a lot of people go very trigger happy in this category. That is not my suggestions. That's not what I do. You know what I do here? I do nothing. For me, this is always blank. I filter things on the very back end, but we're going to do something simple today to make sure that you are actually finding good stuff. So I would probably not do anything for ranks. If you do something, don't go too crazy unless you know exactly what you're looking for. I'm looking for one item of grocery that I can sell 2,000 times a month. So just keep your options open. These are more suggestions. Let these toggles be sort of a safety zone rather than a hard stop on certain things. So I don't really remove any ranks, but if you want to do something, I would probably do maybe like a 500 or 500,000 or even higher. Here's why. You might find something that I find all the time, and that is items that are high in a rank right now, but you know why? Because they've been out of stock. So if something is out of stock, it's been sold out for 2 weeks. What do you think happened to that rank? It went through the roof, right? It's somewhere in a territory that I would not normally touch. But that's only because it's been out of stock. Maybe the product needs to be a hot seller and no one else will find it because they limit the ranks and they limit some other criteria in here. Don't use any of these. That's not how that works. Drops, no. Third-party sellers. This is a filter that you will use a lot for certain websites. So for example, if we were searching Walmart, Walmart has third-party sellers, right? Such as myself. You don't want to buy from me on Walmart because Amazon will most likely not accept that as proof of valid, authentic item purchase. So you want to make sure you remove all third-party sellers from results. If I source Walmart, I actually go above and beyond that. On the Walmart website, I filter out the third-party sellers there. And then I also filter them in here. I only shop by links. I don't do bulk categories, almost never. So I do double filtering to make sure that I don't by mistake buy from a third-party seller. Remove oversized products. A lot of people remove oversized products, but there's different types of oversized. So oversized does not mean couches and refrigerators and rugs. Oversized can mean something as simple as a larger toy. So if you remove them, you could be losing out on some really hot sellers. And I will show you how to remove oversized by type on the back end. It's probably going to be a future video though. Remove out of stock products. Remove some people, if you want to just a super quick, I just want to buy something today and get done with it, you can remove out of stock products. I don't, because there's two things that can happen. Number one, you can set an alert and then you get an email when the product is back in stock, and most people will not do that. So there's a reduction in competition right off the bat. And then the other thing that can happen, even if it's out of stock at Vitacost, which is where we're shopping today, Vitacost has several competitors. A quick, just hit the Google button and it'll give you all the instances of where you can actually purchase that product. So if you want to take a couple extra seconds to find things that other people are not finding, that is where you win. Remove if Amazon has no weight. We're not doing any of that. Amazon is also a seller and now a stock that is insignificant to me. Amazon is my primary competitor on my listings. A lot of us sell right alongside Amazon with absolutely no problems. Remove hazmat products. If you're not approved for hazmat FBA, you can still sell hazmat FBM. Buy box suppressed or not suppressed doesn't matter if it's restricted. I see a lot of people removing if restricted. You want to see what you're restricted in so you can apply. How else are you going to get it unrestricted? So just, I would leave this alone. If a brand product has IP complaint, it could be something from 6 years ago and someone got a letter. Don't take it as given. Look at the actual listings. Remove if product has multiple quantities. This is if you don't want to see any kind of bundles or multi-packs. This is the filter right here that I would actually use. Remove if estimated sales is less than. I would do something like maybe 5. The rest of them I would not touch. None of this matters. And on the right now, you're just nitpicking. I would not worry about any of these. So remove if the number of sellers is less than if you do the less than, this could be helpful in the case of private labels. So in that case, I would usually do something like a 2 or 3 offers, but I would rather look at them and decide it's private label and just exclude that brand than miss something that's maybe out of stock. Maybe it's just like one person left on the listing. Maybe one person is just coming on the listing. The other thing that you can do is remove if Amazon has been in stock a certain percentage in the last 30 days or 90 days. So on here, you can do something like I want to see listings where Amazon has been in stock maybe more than 70% in the last 90 days. So this is something that you can do if you want to maybe reduce the incidence of Amazon dominated listings. So in here, if I were new, you decide on out of stock, third-party sellers, this is a mandatory filter if you're going to source Walmart, Target, Sears, Wayfair, whatever other websites have third-party sellers. But then the rest of them are really up to to you, but the more you tighten these filters, the more of a chance of not seeing your biggest product ever. So keep in mind, a little bit more work on the back end will lead to a lot more results. And the one thing that I would use if you are new to this is estimated sales less than. So we're going to minimize this filter right now. And the next section is source titles. This is a fantastic section that applies in very rarely. So we're not going to discuss it today. The next one is going to be costs and fees. This is where you put the prep cost for standard products, any cost for creating a bundle, prep for oversized. For example, if you use a prep center, some prep centers are like normal fee is $1.50, but shoes are $1 more. So that's where you would enter that. And then on here, you would put your cost of inbound shipping to Amazon. I usually go to 1 because that's a good average for standard, for hazmat, for larger size, for going to East Coast, West Coast, wherever it goes. So we're going to minimize that. Now we're going to profit and ROI. Again, here, I would probably not do anything crazy. You can say remove products with gross profit less than. So maybe we can do something like less than $1. I don't want to see it. But then again, it could be a product that makes 90 cents every time it sells. It's super tiny and it flies. So see, I would want to see that because that's good for your IPI. That's good for your account health. That's good for so many things. So for me, that is usually blank, but just something like maybe I wanted to make sure it makes at least 10 cents. So 10 pennies. So it's basically a break even. And that's when you'll see maybe right now it's at break even. So right now we are comparing to the Amazon buy box price. In Q4, I like to use the Amazon buy box price because items are so much more likely to be higher priced than normal. If this was, I don't know, July, I would probably do an average price 30 days or 90 days. So I want to see things that maybe average 30-day price is actually a break even. But even then, maybe it's selling for more now. So I want to see it. But in Q4, I use Amazon buy box price because you will catch the stuff that you can flip FBM today. Remove product to gross ROI less than. This is where I would put something. I usually do nothing. If I feel like really wanting to narrow things down, I do 1 ROI. But if it's a more expensive item, 8% ROI could be $30 or 10% ROI could be $9. If you can sell it all day long, would you not take $9 on something that you can sell 10 times a day? I would absolutely do it. So again, if you make these 40% ROI, it sounds fantastic if in this case, it's grocery, right? So grocery generally has a higher ROI because the lower cost. So in this case, I'm just going to do something. I'm going to set at 8%. So we're looking for something that makes at least 8% ROI at the current buy box price and at least 10 cents profit. So we're going to minimize that. And then at the bottom, you have other filters. And here, make sure to enable these. Also show Amazon out of stock results. Turn that on. Also include quantity mismatch results. So this is something that should always be on. For me, it's if Vitacost is selling, I don't know, 1 pack of tea, 1 box of tea, and on Amazon it's sold as a 6-pack, right? Even if it's mismatched, it's not rocket science. It's the cost of 1 pack times 6, right? And then apply the discounts. So you don't want to basically box yourself into these tight filters that don't allow you to see anything other than perfection. On the right, we're going to do also show category unknown. Always keep that on. Also show other Amazon UPC matches. Also keep that on. At the bottom here, use manual price adjustments. These are always on for me. So this is an ongoing, doesn't matter what we're looking for. I also turn on use usually, and then this here I want to mention real quick. Also show reverse search results from more sources. If you turn these 2 toggles on, here's what's going to happen. Tactical Arbitrage is searching this 1 category on Vitacost, right? It's searching that and matching it against Amazon, and then it's going to give you results. If you toggle these on, it's going to take those results and it's also going to start looking them up all over the other Tactical Arbitrage websites. So it's going to hit, once you find these products from Vitacost on Amazon, it's going to take those Amazon results and it's going to start searching for them on the other 500 websites in Tactical Arbitrage, which sounds fantastic. It's a fantastic idea. Just keep in mind that it's going to take forever to do it because there's a lot of websites in Tactical Arbitrage and it has to hit certain data points under each. So if you keep these on, just keep that in mind that this would take a really long time. For me, they're usually off unless I have a super small search. It's a link like this. This one has 10,000 items. It will probably be done about the same time that's as the sale ends because of so many things that it has to look up. So, but if this was let's say it had 200 items or even 600 items, I could be tempted to hit these. But now I'm like, really, it doesn't cost you anything to turn it on, but the search is going to just show up, not complete, it's just going to show up pending for 60 hours. So keep that in mind. But these are absolutely amazing toggles to use on smaller searches, or if you're looking to find more suppliers for these products. So at this point, now that we turned all of these on, let me just open them up real quick so you can see, just to cross check, I actually have this on. The number right here in front of each filter of each section, this number tells you how many filters you actually have enabled inside. So in this case, I have two. I have remove if estimated, and then I have remove if Amazon has been in stock. And I'm just going to leave if estimated sales is less than 5. And that's it on here. Next, we're going to go to costs and fees, then to profit and ROI. This is what I have. And then the other filters. And at this point, we click search. You can click search right here at the bottom, or you can click search right up here. They both do the same thing. So when I click search, it says search in progress. See how it says products checked, it was 0, and then now we turn to 20. This tells us, once you see, this tells us that the search is working, it's active. And there's no problem with the website, and it's basically actively scraping the pages and the product. So right now you can see it's scraping current page 1, which would be this one. And it's checked the first 20 products so far. So I showed you the first way you could search a website. So that is for if you're an absolute newbie, that is an easy way to source by using the bulk categories. However, that's not how I do it. I prefer to source by link. And here's how we do that. I got this email that there's this sale. I clicked on the email that opened on this page. Now I'm just going to click on the sale page. And in here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy. When I click on the web address, I'm going to Control-C to copy it. So I copied the link to the actual sale. And I'm going to go back to Tactical Arbitrage and see how there's nothing here in website selected. My filters remain. See, it defaults to last used. So the filters I'll keep the same. I'm just going to show you the way I actually scan these. So there's no website selected in category URL. I'm just going to put the cursor right there and I'm going to Control-V to paste this search link right here. So I wanted to scan just this page because the reason for that, maybe not everything food and beverages is 20%. Maybe it only applies to these 181 pages worth of products. So this will make it a lot more accurate. I would not run into the instance where this product is excluded from the sale. So it's very demoralizing when you find some really hot seller and it's excluded from the sale, so you cannot buy it profitably. So I would paste the link right there. The filters all remain the same as I previously showed you, and now we're going to click search. So click search. It's super important to wait, especially when you source by link. It's very important to wait until it's checking products. So see products checked turn to 52, which means my link is good. The search is good and it's just going to run. So now let's go look at these results. So we are now on in search history. You access it by clicking search history, or you can just click it right from here to view results. So if you click view results, it opens up straight to your search results, and then, or you can click it from right here, result, and then view result, going to open up in this new tab. And as you can see right here, our search is still in progress, right? We just started it, but it already found us 37 matches. It looked at 296 products, and it found 37 that actually meet our criteria. So under this new data tab, we can see the results. So now that we filtered from sales rank low to high, which the lowest sales rank being number 1 is the fastest selling. What is happening is what comes before sales rank 1? You have 0. So right up front, it might show you several items that don't have a sales rank. There's absolutely no rank and no data attached to them. So if you don't want to see any of these items, we're going to, right now we have, I'm seeing 50 items per page. We can remove these very easily. On the sales rank, you have these filters right here. If you don't see this second header right here, you can click on hide filters. If you see, if this is what yours looks like, click show filters and it will show the filters right here. This is how I do everything, by using these filters. You can click on the little, that lookup icon, and then sales rank, you say from 1. I want to see if items with sales rank from 1 to nothing. You don't have to put anything there, and just click apply. So now it's not going to, it basically filtered out the items that did not have sales rank. So now we are left with these. So what do we do with this? Let's move the screen just a little bit right here, because I want to show you something. So we're just going to start going through these. We have a cream of mushroom condensed soup, 10.5 ounces. That looks like it's the same thing. And let's open them. My favorite icon in Tactical Arbitrage is this little splitty thing. I call it a TA splitty thing. I don't know if there's a name for it, but it shall forever be known as a TA splitty thing. Click on that, and this will make both your source website and the Amazon product page open up. I don't know what's going on here. Something is making this. Oh, I have this extension that blurs certain sections of my screen, and that's probably why it's making it act weird. Look at that. Wow. Look at this. So Amazon is selling, but however, right now, if we just look at now, Amazon is out of stock, and they seem to have been out of stock for a little bit. Does this item sell when Amazon is out of stock? We'd have to go look at the offers section to see who's selling it. But this is it sells, right now it sells 9,000 a month. This is insane. The velocity is crazy. And look at that in Q4, I guess cream of mushrooms, everyone making holiday meal. Green bean casserole, anyone? Right there. It's absolutely huge increase in sales. So this is when we go look at offers under the data tab and click on offer, and to see if anyone else other than Amazon is selling it. So we click include historical offers, which in case would also be Amazon because they're sold out at the moment. And let's see, there's not a lot of data because, so here's someone else. 321. So this was Lifeline Brands. Is this the actual brand? Pacific Foods. So maybe not. Let's see what other history. This looks like there was some stock. Oh, that's Amazon. That's why it's all funky looking. Here's someone else. Let's just look at FBA sellers. Is anyone selling this FBA? Let's go open it up the full year. So here's these guys. They were basically in stock. They might have been in stock for a while, and then looks like they dropped the price, and that's when they sold it. So they might have dropped the price to Amazon price and then to get rid of it. Here's another one. It was in stock, and then looks like they dropped the price too, and that's how they got it sold. So this might not be, you will definitely lose money regardless of what you pay for this when you start counting costs and fees and shipping costs and all of that. So one can of any FBA does not really make sense. Here's something else. This is a Bob's Red Mill baking powder, pack of 4 versus 1 of the same item. So this is the same item, 14 ounces baking powder, Bob's Red Mill, same item. However, it's comparing a 1 to a 4 pack. So here's what we do. Do you see this column header that I have right here? It's pack quantity, it's pack QT1. There's another column called pack quantity. Just don't enable that. Make sure you just enable this, the pack quantity. And you do that right here under manage columns. That's the one you want, the pack QTY. There's also this pack quantity right here. It's the QTY that we're looking at right now. So right there. So it's comparing a 1 to a 4. And see how it says pack quantity 1? It has the little pencil underneath. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to change the 1 to a 4 and then save. So now what's happening, this turned red right there because as a pack of 4, it's not making a profit anymore. So at this point, we can use the X to delete it, or we can just ignore it and keep scrolling. Here is another can. This is organic roasted chicken breast. There's that red band at the top that says no salt added. Same on this one. It's a 1 can, 5 ounce. Buy it for $4.89. It sells for $10.72 on Amazon, which is not, you would want to sell it for $9.99, possibly, or more. But what I'm looking at here is the adjusted price. Remember this, it changed because keep in mind, we are looking at the live search. The search is not completed yet, so there's constant results populating. And what's happening is something that's basically a lower rank than this just popped in. So there's these dandies that just popped in above this one. That's how our page shifted. So on here, you have Amazon buy box price, and adjusted price. The adjusted price is the actual price that you would pay for this item. The adjusted price is calculated as the price on the supplier website right here, like that price, minus or any discounts that we applied on the filters, plus any sales tax. So this is the actual effective price. And that is what's used for calculation. So if we open this, again, click the splitty thing. Oh, the first time you use TA, or every time you clear your browser cookies and history, this Amazon page might not open. When you click the splitty thing right here, the Amazon page might not open. You might just get the supplier page. If that happens, go to TA, and right here, see where I have the zoom button right there? If that happens, look right there, because you're going to have, it's Chrome is blocking the pop-up. So you'll see a little window, like a tiny window icon with a red X. If you see that, click on it and click always allow. And once you do that, refresh the page and then click the splitty thing again, and both pages will open up, including Amazon. So let's look at this one more time. So it's $4.89. So I'm going to come right here and do $4.89 times 0.8, because it's 20%, right? So 20% is 0.8. Right now it's auto-populated the Amazon Fresh price, which is nowhere near that, what we need. But if we were to send this FBA, I'm actually going to turn that off, and I'm going to turn that off because there's no custom costs to you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on lowest. I'm just going to do it lowest FBA, which is $9.99 historically. And look at that. Now we are, is that correct? $4.89. $4.89 times 0.8, $3.91. So now this is something that sells 994 approximate times per month. It is a variation listing, so that estimation is for the entirety of the listing. But oh, look, this actually sells 3,000 times per month. It's 47% ROI. This is so good that I'm stunned, for 1 pack of chicken breast. And even though Amazon is on the listing, it's Amazon Fresh. A lot of people don't have that available in their markets. And this is not something that needs to be refrigerated, right? No, it's just a plain can. So a lot of people don't have that available in their markets, and they don't have Prime, or so this is something that these FBM sellers, I would not sell this FBM. But if you ever get to sometimes your variations or these tabs right here are covered by the image. Sometimes the image is really long. So if that happens and you cannot click on your variations tab, just hover over a different image and then scroll down, and then you'll be able to see those. But if we look at this data, let's look at offers real quick. Are these people actually selling this? They're selling it FBM, but what about FBA? Let's just look at FBA, 365. So those guys are new to look at this. Let's see. I am thinking, let me look more recently right here. Oh, look at that. This is history of sales. FBA seller, they know how to price $9.99. If you don't know about this, let me show you real quick the difference between pricing at $9.99 and pricing at $10. So at $10, we make $1.08 profit. At $9.99, so it was 108 at 10. At $9.99, we make 184. That is because of the fees for what used to be small and light. and now what's it called? Small something. So $9.99, this makes, look at that, that's just, and the sales. Can you imagine selling something like this? And these guys being, sorry, whoever this seller is, hopefully this is not ruining your golden goose of an ASIN. This is selling fantastically well. So here is one product that Amazon is in and out of. Looks like right now they're even, as a calculator estimation, it gives me a 1 estimated Amazon stock. Don't believe them, but this is a fantastic product to look at. Let's find something else. So I like this product. So if you are, it says restricted right here. If you click check restrictions, cannot verify it right now because I am not logged into my Seller Central. But if you click check, if you're restricted, and you can always click right here, apply. And you can click the heart to save the ASIN. So I'm going to save the ASIN to my database, either to look later or there's many reasons why we would need them. Here's a can of sweet potato puree. Let's look at this real quick. This is $3.79. Again, Amazon Fresh is on this. Super hot seller in Q4. Price is, looks like there are several sellers on this. $3.79. 379 times 0.8, 303 if I turn that off for custom cost. So this is the Amazon Fresh price. Lowest FBA looks like it's been in the 80s, 830s, 880s, maybe mid. Let's just go with a higher one for now. And bam, look at that. It's making a profit. Is it a lot of profit? No. Is it $5 per pop? No. But if you're new and you have limited funds, 49% ROI is fantastic. That's basically, this is how you build a business, on potentially small profits like this if you don't have a lot of money to start with, right? So you can spare $30 to buy 10 cans of these and just almost double your money after a few of these. Going to close this. Let's go look at something else. Here's tomato paste. That looks like a glass jar. Looks like it's only making 26 cents. There's just absolutely no money in the world to make me wrap up a glass jar that makes 26 cents. Here's another product. This looks like a perfect match. However, there's something that I don't care for here is the price, how fixed the price is. One thing on the history chart, the orange shading, if you have orange, that is Amazon. You can see it. Tiny instance of Amazon actually being in stock there. Then you have the green is the sales rank. The blue is the new price history. And then this gray that it's unfortunately disabled, generally, you have to click on it to turn it on. The gray is actually the seller count. So it shows as a seller count. Looks like there's more than one seller, just the brand. So I mean, if the brand is selling it, there's other sellers alongside. So let's look at this real quick. Let me just look at the actual Amazon before I open the supplier to see if it's a product that I'm even interested in selling or looking any deeper into. I'm not a fan of this. Looks like this Lemonize. It's, if you look at the seller, they're probably a huge wholesaler or a brand management firm, which at times those can be even more aggressive. But in this case, I don't know, I'm not seeing there's some larger drop in sellers here, but it looks like these are basically just selling out. Nothing worse than that. This is kind of old. I don't know. I could actually be tempted if you can make any money. This is a box of crackers. Probably it's a 6x6x3 basically. So it's actually small. So it might make sense. What is the price? So the adjusted price is $4.92. I don't think we can make money at $4.92 selling for that. Let's look at this listing real quick, because one thing that I noticed on here is that some items have extra discounts. This one doesn't. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See this one? It has use code FOODSAVE20 to save 20%. And then there's additional 20% on these 20 select vegan. So some of these products that we found and we liked might actually have yet an additional code to save an extra 20. So this is basically how I go through these search results. The history graph is the first thing that I look at. Some of these could very well be worth it. You can find these two, the first two products, or the two products that we looked at, this one and this one, they're potentially fantastic. There's good potential there. So why don't you run the search yourselves? I'm going to post this video later today, which is the 18th. You still have 3 days to do the search. Enjoy playing with Tactical Arbitrage. It's my favorite tool, has been my favorite tool for the past 5 years. And if I can answer any questions, whatever you run into, I've probably experienced it at some point in the past 5 years. So let me know how you like the video and let me know what more you'd like to see, and I'll get right on it.